Right, so we're going to go and see this absolutely gargantuan waterfall. But before we do that, I just wanted to explain how I've just unlocked a cheat code here in Iceland. Basically, instead of paying about $1 million for a coffee at a cafe, you can get one that's just as bad from an N1 gas station for about a fraction of the price. Piazzadoro. It's not terrible. You know, it's actually decent coffee. And while I was in there, I found this. Kex.
Kex.
I don't know what it is, but I've got to. It's called Kex, so I've got to eat it.
I think it's a wafer.
Yeah.
Kex.
What are the chances of goodness on this?
Well, so far, most of the Icelandic chocolate that we've tried, you know, hasn't been that great. But you know, I like to keep an open mind where chocolate's concerned. I'll give them another chance. Looks like milk chocolate. Quite like it.
Do you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try licorice.
Apollo licorice. I'm guessing licorice is Icelandic for, yeah, licorice.
Let's see what it's like.
I quite like the combo together. Coffee and Kex. Coffee and Kex. I do not give a because I've got coffee and Kex. What have you got?
Apollo. I think it'll be my last bar from them.
All right, so that's a pretty good start to this road trip already. I'm quite happy with that. Let's proceed.
All right.
And so, like complete idiots, we decided to visit one of the busiest waterfalls in Iceland. And even worse, we went during the busiest part of the day.
Well, it's an absolute carnival here. In fact, there's more humans here than there was in Halifax Airport when we left, isn't there?
Yeah.
So it must be good. It must be absolutely brilliant, you know, to have that many people come here. I've got very high expectations.
Oh, it's gonna be beautiful. That's why it's so busy.
Yeah, exactly. That's my logic too. It must be brilliant.
Even from here, you could see it was extremely impressive. But my agoraphobia was kicking in hard. And this is why I much prefer to go nocturnal in Iceland during the summer. But as a landscape photographer, sometimes you've just got to let go of the idea of capturing a tranquil shot and simply experience the awesome power of such a location.
Well, it's definitely spectacular, but I'm struggling to find a shot, although I feel like there might be something down in that canyon there where basically you have a vertical waterfall. So you have a waterfall that's cascaded down, hits the deck, and then bounces back up. It's kind of like a waterfall in reverse. I love that. And I feel like if we get a bit of empty sky where the sun can pop through, we'll probably get rainbows in all of that.
Oh, yeah?
So it might just be a case of waiting for something to happen. And then if it does, then I might see a shot. But right now, it's kind of difficult. Well, it's amazing and it's impressive, but it's not for me. I prefer a different kind of scene to this. It's just too difficult to photograph. I think it'd probably be quite easy to photograph in the winter though, when it's partially frozen. That would be a completely different story. Oh, look at that little rainbow now. You see a rainbow forming there. But compositionally, it's not exciting me. It's just a nice thing to see. You know, kind of like Niagara Falls, like really impressive natural wonder. But you very rarely see that many inspiring images of Niagara Falls. So what I think I'm in the mood for, love, is... do you remember that waterfall we tried to get to the other day, but we couldn't see it because it was so foggy? Behold.
There is a waterfall in there somewhere, but I wasn't going to get any closer to the edge.
This has got railings.
Just pretend that there's some railings and you'll be fine.
Well, you don't. And I don't like to witness you.
Oh, well, you stay in the car then. Look at this rainbow now. All right, so let's leave these crowds behind and go somewhere a bit more tranquil, eh?
Yeah.
And considerably more dangerous.
No.
No. Don't know if this is showing up on this camera, but look at those doom-laden clouds over there with shafts of light coming down. I love that stuff. So I'm hoping that's what it looks like at High Foss, the other waterfall. But I'll just give you one last look at this rainbow.
Where's the pot of gold?
In my pocket. Put your hand in, have a rummage.
There's nothing in there but...
Keep looking.
Oh,
What did I tell you? The pot of gold. Oh.
It was time to leave the rainbow and ditch the crowds in favour of something a little bit more wild and rugged.
Well, already the conditions look way better than that complete whiteout that we had the other day, so I'm quite optimistic that this might result in a fantastic shot. I'm not going to say the conditions are perfect just yet, but the clouds are ever changing. Storms come in, storms go out, so I might get stormlight over a big, massive, dramatic waterfall. Oh yes, please. Anyway, I'm going to hike down the trail and see what can be found. It's making me pretty twitchy being on this windy cliff edge. There's no room for error with any of this. You slip, you're done. So I'm going to circle the rim of this canyon a little bit from afar and then see if I can find a spot where the composition reveals itself. But no, that's a bit of a pucker session, is that? Is that one? Amanda's not even entertaining it. Look at, she's over there. She's not going anywhere near the lip. And I fear that the further away I go in this direction, which is the safer direction, the less impact the shot has. So, I don't know. Can I overcome my fear of standing on the very edge of a dangerous windy cliff? Probably not. Probably not. Really like it from this angle, looking back up the canyon. The only problem then is you've got these ugly power lines on the horizon line there, which I really don't want in my shot. Whereas when you're over there shooting this direction, there's none of that. It's a pure natural scene. But it just seems so much more sketchy over there. But I think what I'll do is I'll work this spot just a little bit, maybe even go a bit further down, and then I'll work my way back up to the top. See if I can pluck up some more courage to get that shot that I think is probably going to be the best shot. Alright, I've set up a shot, but I'll be honest with you, I'm twitching like a rabbit's whiskers here. It's a bit sketchy arm, I'll show you that. So, you know, I'm not going to linger for too long. I'll try and show you the back of the camera, but it's really bright. I think it might just be a glare fest, but I'll show you what I've framed up. Okay, so hopefully you can see what I've got going on here. I've got this little ledge of rocks, which is these guys right in front of me. Obviously the big waterfall in the center, and then that other waterfall off to the right. But what I've tried to get in this frame is just a little bit of the sky. If you look at that, you can see there's some nice contrast going on. up there with those clouds. Not the most dramatic, but still quite nice, contrasting and colourful. And then on the sides of the waterfall, I really like these green cliffs that you can see here, that lovely green colour, and all of these ledges covered in moss. But I also love this kind of ridge that you can see coming down here. So I wanted to make sure that that was in the right of the frame, if you could see any of that. So it's a pretty obvious composition, but I really quite like it. And I think once I've done this, I'm going to move down there and shoot a bit further up the canyon and see what I can get from that angle. But if this one turns out to be any good, here's a shot. I think I'm going to hike back up the hill now to that really sketchy looking cliff that you can see over there, looking back in this direction, which is where I started out, but I also chickened out. I'm trying to go back up there and face my fears. Wish me luck. Alright, I'm going to admit to you that the twitch factor on the old sheriffs, it's going 10 to the dozen, it really is. I've faced my fears and I'm on this sketchy precipice. This is the closest I dare get. You don't need to get any closer. And I think this is definitely where the better view is. It's just so much cooler because you've got all of this spray that you can see down there, kind of plumes upwards and then drifts off into the distance, making it a much nicer composition. Look at these sheep over here. Just clinging to that cliff. Sheep have no fear. They do not care. I, on the other hand, I'm going to require some new undercrackers after this. Some new Kex. Kex. Anyway, I'll try and show you the back of the camera. Still quite a lot of glare, but you might see something. Let me show you this. All right, so let's just boost the brightness here, increase the exposure, so you can see this foreground. What I'm loving with this foreground is this mossy ledge here, with a few little pink wildflowers you might just be able to see there. And then of course, it's just all about this massive waterfall creating this gorgeous plume, and then those mountains fading off into the distance, and that slate grey, dingy sky. That's it, it's as obvious as that. And I'll bracket obviously to get some nice dark frames for the sky. When it comes to waterfalls of this size, I don't want a long exposure, so I'm trying to shoot fairly fast exposures to try and get the shape and texture of the water as you see it reflected just like that in the shot. I don't really want streaky water for this because it's so colossal and massive that the texture that you can see is really quite pleasing. So I don't need that long exposure. So I'm going to try a different range of shutter speeds and apertures until I can get that perfectly as you see it there. Anyway, I think this one's going to be the strongest shot of the day. If it does turn out to be any good, here's the shot. Right, the midges are amassing. I don't really want to be standing on the edge of this cliff, flapping around trying to get rid of midges. So I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna switch this off, climb back up the hill, and see what Amanda's up to.
Amanda had been busy planning our dinner, so we ended up eating Ethiopian, and it was interesting. But as always, she was happy just filling her cake hole.
Now, whenever the conditions are just too foggy for landscape photography, there's really only one thing you can do. And what I like to do is reach for a copy of Stories Within Stories by Gavin Hardcastle. There is actually a link in the description if you want to purchase your own signed copy of this inspirational tome. And that just helps with those foggy days where you've just got nothing but time to kill and chocolate to eat. Have we got any chocolate?
No. How much time do you give it in a foggy place like this?
Well, at least 2 reads of the entire book from cover to cover. But after that, I don't know. We could maybe nap.
Oh, so you're waiting here all day.
Pretty much all day, yeah.
Oh.
But at least the forecast says that it's sunny right now.
I just want to say a huge thank you to all of my Patreon supporters shown here. You really do make it possible for me to keep this channel going. And if anyone's interested in my monthly critique sessions on Patreon, there's a link in the description if you're interested.